viewers. This is Too Big to Fail, the movie podcast where we watch bad movies and we're positive about them because these movies are fucking great. A lot of people worked on these fantastic movies. They're not shit. They're the best. And I'm with
Hard
Colton.
Work goes into everything.
We're the truth tellers in this ever-growing sea of podcasters, and this is our second episode. I'm bringing a whole new energy to each and every episode. This one's a little angry.
For real, I like this.
It's a little angry,
like
but I'm positive. I'm angry positive. I'm like Jocko Willnick. You don't know who that is, Colton, but you'd hate that guy.
Of course, I do. I do not know who that is. I'm not up on things. I don't stream on Twitch. I don't play Fortnite.
But you love your fucking mom because she's a gorgeous fucking queen.
I do love my mommy. She's a queen.
All right, now I'm toning it down so we can get actually into the episode.
All right, I hear you cranking it down. All right, I'm Colton Baseness.
This is this is 2Big2Bail, the movie-centric podcast about positivity. You know,
positivity in the face of great adversity.
Yeah.
How are we spelling this? The title for this? We never talked about it. Are we going numbers? Too big to fail.
It's 2Big2Bail.
2Big2Bail. Gosh, I know. I know that.
We can do numbers, or we can do 2 or 2.
What's catchier?
2Big2Bail.
Well, by now
I like 2Big2Bail because you see a lot of movies using the 2 like that.
Yeah, 2Big2Bail. That way we don't ever accidentally use the wrong 2.
And it is our second podcast together, so it does.
That's true, and it's second to none.
Second to none.
So, this week when we spun your wheel for me, I got the holiday class. You know what? I'm gonna refrain from using such broad terms. The holiday movie. No, you know, it's a Christmas movie. Christmas with the Cranks.
It is. That's exactly. It is a holiday movie. It is a Christmas movie.
And just right off the bat, I want to say I saw this in theaters and haven't seen it since. But I remember really being quite okay with it in theaters. It came out in 2004. And so did you know this? It's actually based on a 2001 novel called Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. John Grisham, famous for his political and spy novels. He took a break from doing all that and said, you know what? I'm gonna write about that time I tried to skip Christmas. And if the Tim Allen character is based on John Grisham, seems like a real cool dude.
Yeah, like the coolest guy. You know, he doesn't.
Honestly, definitely not provocative and mean spirited.
Yeah.
So it was the movie was directed by Joe Roth and written and produced by Chris Columbus.
Oh wow, this movie had a lot behind
had
it.
some power players.
Yeah,
going.
man, they got Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis to star.
So yeah, it stars Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis. Dan Aykroyd has a pretty strong supporting role, and some other folks pop up that we'll talk about as I get into the plot here. It's it's a lot.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Where do you want to start?
Where do I want to start?
About what's your first positive of the movie, or do you want to go by plot?
You know, I was thinking we should come up with a term for our positives. I was thinking maybe saving graces. Maybe this movie we have to find 3 saving graces.
We should find a new, like, instead of saving graces, we should come up with a new one, like saving something else, like saving heart or saving
3 saving Silvermans.
Saving Silvermans. That's good.
Okay, the saving Silvermans of this movie. My 3 saving Silvermans. So let me pull up my notes here. The saving Silvermans, for me, I don't think come in until pretty deep in the paint. No. My saving Silvermans aren't until pretty deep in the movie.
Right.
So I guess we can get into the plot here. So after the couple, Luther and Nora Crank, played by Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis, respectively. Their daughter, Blair, is departing to join the Peace Corps for an assignment in Peru.
How old is Blair? Do you remember? She's like in her late 20s.
It's unclear.
She's an adult.
She's an adult. She has gone to college and might
be
doctor. A doctor. Okay.
I think she's a doctor, yeah.
I think she might be a doctor. She does still call Tim Allen daddy, which bothers me a lot. But, you know, it makes him weak. He caves in every time she calls him daddy. And so she is leaving the day after Thanksgiving. And so emptiness syndrome is setting in pretty hard for Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis, or as I will call them from now on, Luther and Nora. It's interesting that emptiness syndrome is just now setting in because presumably their daughter has been at college for 8 years.
Yes.
So the fact that she is just leaving to do the Peace Corps for a little while doesn't seem like
maybe
enough
she went
to me.
College in the city or something, because they do live in a suburb.
Oh, they do live there. They live in Riverside, Illinois, an offshoot of Chicago.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe she did, but at the same time, you know what? Fine. That's fine. That I can get into that. So they're getting ready to kind of, you know, lean into the holiday season. Christmas is coming soon. They always go pretty ham on Christmas.
They're the Christmas.
Nora is even owns a Christmas vest that she doesn't take off for the entirety of the Christmas season, based on how she only has one.
Where's my vest?
Where's my vest? It's rough. Luther, I think, works at a bank.
Sure. Who cares? A high-rise office job in the city.
Yeah, it's like an office job, but it seems like it has something to do with money.
Yeah.
It's like a financial job. Because he is sitting at work running numbers all day. He's running his own numbers, and nobody seems to give it a second glance, because maybe that is something he does all day. So while running his numbers, he calculates that his family spends $6,132 every year on Christmas, and he's not looking forward to doing Christmas without his daughter, you know. And Jamie Lee Nora is also kind of feeling that like emptiness of like it's just not gonna be the same. But they are still planning on basically spending that amount of money, even if the daughter's not there. So Luther, I forgot, there is a scene right after they drop the daughter Blair off at the airport where they need to get some supplies for baking for whatever. Yeah. Where Luther is clearly fed up with the weather. Like, it's cold, it's raining, and he just is stepping in puddles left and right. There's a Santa Claus who's out pretty early in the year trying to sell Santa Claus umbrellas, and Tim Allen's like, nah, I'm already wet. I'm not gonna buy an umbrella. Which it turns out he was selling them. I thought when we first watched, I thought he was trying to give them away. But you know, finally, like, a roof collapses and drops an obscene amount of water onto Tim Allen, and he just like, he's had enough. And so he has like a euphoric moment where he sees an advertisement for a Carnival cruise and is like, hey, that's what's up. And so that's when he runs the numbers and realizes that he could spend about half that on going on a cruise without their daughter and skipping Christmas altogether. And so he suggests that they invest the money that they usually spend on decorations, gifts, and entertainments to treat themselves to a 10-day Caribbean cruise. And Nora is pretty on board as long as they still make their charitable donations that they do annually and Luther insists that they completely boycott the holiday. But I think he kind of
boycott. He totally means boycotting the holiday.
He's like, he won't even say Christmas.
No.
If people, Nora agrees to this as long as they can like make their donations. But he pretty much like he writes like a professional letter up and gives it to everyone at his work that says that he's skipping Christmas and that he doesn't,
he fucking types it up and hand delivers it to every employee.
Yeah, he hand delivers it in a very serious way. And it's basically, he's like, I'm not participating in Christmas. Like, if you say Merry Christmas to me, it's fine. I'm not gonna, yell at you. But I'm not going to any parties. I'm not doing any of that bullshit. And there's a pretty negative reaction almost immediately to his announcement of skipping Christmas. People ostracize him almost immediately. They're treating him like he has rescinded their right to also celebrate Christmas, which is pretty silly if you ask me.
Weird.
But that is in fact the conceit of the whole movie, is that everyone is having a very big reaction to the fact that the Cranks are skipping Christmas. It's like
they killed a child.
Yeah, it is. They are treated.
Should like not have Christmas.
I would. Here's
Personal
what
offense
it seems
was taken.
more like. It seems like it's treated as if it's like a political sex scandal, and it's like insane. The entire neighborhood is abuzz about how the Cranks are not doing Christmas. Because apparently they often or every year they do like a Christmas Eve party, which I think sucks. Don't do a party on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I hate
Who would go
that.
to that?
I hate.
Are
My
you
parents
kidding
do
me?
That every year.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Spend time with your family. Watch
we have two, dude. We have two. We have
two Christmas parties.
We have Christmas Eve at my house, and then we have Christmas Day. We go around noon to my aunt's house, my godmother, spend a little time there. She's having a Christmas party. Then around 4:00 we go to my uncle's house and have another Christmas party where he makes even more food. It's so annoying. Okay. It's on Christmas.
Is this a Christmas party in regard to like, is it just family or
just
is it like
family?
Office
just
people?
family.
See, that's
just
different.
family
that's
and
different.
the extended family. It's like
that's different.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's the same shit. There's a lot of people there.
Okay, but this is like none of their family is here. It's only like neighbors and people they work with.
Yeah.
Like they don't, as far as I can tell, Blair, their daughter, is their last bit of family that they have.
It's their last hold on to humanity, really. I mean, Luther just he goes into a psychotic meltdown after his daughter leaves.
Yeah, Luther breaks completely from
Imagine
reality.
if he was like a really normal person up till this point where his daughter leaves for Peru.
But I know that they weren't because they based on the reaction they get, these people go so hard at Christmas time that people are like, "Are you kidding? You're not doing it this year?" Like, you know how much you have to like do to be like the Christmas people?
God.
In the neighborhood full of like what seems like big Christmas people.
Yeah, I mean Dan Aykroyd looks like he lives the Christmas lifestyle.
Dan Aykroyd is like the union boss of this neighborhood.
Yeah, he is the union boss.
Yeah. So, when they announced that they're skipping holidays, they kind of spread that around the neighborhood. Everyone is pretty vocal about their objections. None more than Vic Frohmeyer, played by Dan Aykroyd,
and his son,
who was Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle. I can't tell which one of these actors
his character's name was Spike.
Spike, yes. I don't know. It's not listed clearly on the thing that I'm looking at, and I'm not willing to look it up. So Dewey plays Spike, and known character actor Emmett Walsh plays Walt Scheel, who is Tim Allen's arch nemesis in the neighborhood, who is an old guy who's just kind of a dick to Tim Allen.
I love that actor though.
And his wife has cancer, so Tim has to kind of be nice to him because of his cancer wife. But Walt is not gonna let up with his commitment to being a total dick to Tim Allen.
I have Dewey's name for his name is Eric Sullivan.
Is he doing okay now?
I think he retired from acting.
Well, I figured. I mean, most children grow up and decide not to do more of that. It seems like child actors do not have good lives usually.
No. He's a first-degree black belt.
That's rad. Imagine getting your ass whooped by Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle.
That'd be awesome.
Like getting your shit completely rocked, and then you look up, it's like, who did this to me? And it's Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle. That's cool, man. So Vic Frohmeyer, Dan Aykroyd, has decided to organize a campaign amongst the neighbors to try and force the Cranks to decorate their home for Christmas. So it's basically the neighbors are like gathering on the lawn. They're like kind of trapping them in the house. It's
not even trapped. They're not trapping. They're making it seem like they're trapped.
Right. I guess the Cranks are acting as though they are trapped when they are just. I mean, they are surrounded. Their house is surrounded by their neighbors, trying to make them like constantly chanting outside, like it's like a protest, but it's for.
It is like a protest.
They're protesting the fact that they don't want to do Christmas.
They show up every day. They're like, it's a certain amount of time, and they start yelling, "Free Frosty! Free Frosty!"
Right. So that brings me to my first saving Silverman. And it is the Cult of Frosty in this movie.
Cult of Frosty.
Because the way that they make it sound is like every year Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis set up their house great, and they have this beautiful, pristine Frosty the Snowman decoration that comes out, and the neighbors want more than anything for that to be on display. But it's not. It's a little more complicated than that, because the neighborhood, in fact, as an entirety, has Frosties everywhere. Every house in the neighborhood. Every single house has the same incredibly large idol of Frosty the Snowman, and they all look identical, and it's very culty, and it's kind of like watching people try and break free from Scientology. And it's just the Scientology ties in this movie
run deep.
They run
very
deep.
Very deep.
They're so they're trying to escape the cult of Frosty, and the cult won't let them.
Yeah, and it's just I feel like it's such a strange move to pick Frosty as the guy that you're gonna like base this whole neighborhood around. It's like Frosty.
They didn't go Santa.
Yeah, we know they want to be different. Like, everybody has a Santa. We want Frosty. They love Frosty the Snowman, the movie, when
they love him. And they basically at one point when Luther is at work, they have like surrounded the house again, and Nora, who is a homemaker, she stays at home all day. She feels threatened. I feel rightly so, because Dan Aykroyd is on her lawn saying, "Look, we're gonna get Frosty. We're coming to get Frosty, and look, you don't have to do anything. We'll put him up for you, but we're gonna get Frosty." And she's hiding in her house like she's like under fire. And so she manages to she drives out of the neighborhood. She managed to sneak out and go to the mall, and they meet up for drinks at Sullivan's or whatever, an Irish pub in the mall. And that's when the hilarious scene of Tim Allen convincing his wife to to get a tan before they go on the boat. They go to a tanning lounge, and boy, does it go gangbusters.
Yeah.
Because she puts on her bikini and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I never thought I'd wear one of these." Which is what a quaint thought. And then she gets in the tanning bed, and is not in there for more than 10 seconds before some old nerd just walks in the room.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like, oh my god!
It's like a Woody Allen like impersonator.
He's like literally like a soundboard of like, he basically goes like, "Awooga," and he like he stands in the doorway, like basically having a.
And you just see his huge boner and like his heart's pounding out of his chest. You can see his little heart pounding.
He turns into a cartoon wolf.
He just falls on the floor, convulses. That's a massive
Jamie Lee Curtis
stroke.
is understandably surprised by this and quickly like bangs her head on the tanning bed, begins bleeding and like goes out to the front desk in her bikini, is like, "Hey, my head's bleeding, can you help me?" And then their pastor is walking by in the mall and walks in and is like, "Nora Craig, what are you doing?" He's like staring at her tits, and it's just like, gross, dude. Act like you're a leader of the community, man. And he's just like, and so then Tim Allen comes out, and he has gotten fully tanned in the 5 minutes that this was going down, and he's wearing a Speedo, and it's just the cranks in full swimwear on display for the whole mall, and it's a huge scandal, so much so that somebody takes a picture and it makes the front page of the newspaper.
Yeah,
that these people are skipping Christmas, so much to the fact that they are getting tans. What brazen assholes they are.
Yeah, crazy.
So their house is the only house in the neighborhood undecorated and unlit. They won't be buying a tree from the Boy Scouts, who take it very harshly.
Yeah, take it pretty harsh. Well, he was like an asshole about it.
He was. Well, yes. First of all, there's not one person in this movie who is not an asshole about them skipping Christmas.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite justify the extent that Luther is committed to.
Well, Luther's a bigger
Christmas
asshole,
thing.
honestly.
Yeah, Luther is pretty. He's just like, don't anyone even ask me if I'm doing Christmas this year.
How dare you?
You're right, and it's just it has the whole movie has a very big like don't tread on me vibe, and it sucks big time. I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of that.
Me neither. Don't tread on me. You mean he is the last man standing?
He is the last man standing. Yeah, this is where you could really start to see the fun radicalization of Tim Allen. He used to be a cool guy that would just like go around doing coke and whatnot. But you know, he got tooled up. So another thing that they won't be doing is buying a calendar from the police. My second Saving Silverman is the acting combo of Cheech Marin and Jake Busey as two partner cops who just want Mr. Crank to buy their calendar. I will note this is not a Christmas calendar. It's not like
it's like a sexy fun calendar.
It's like a calendar of sexy cops that is for the whole year.
Yeah.
And they buy one every year. And just because they happen to do it at Christmas time.
And I can't imagine these calendars are that expensive.
Just because it's charity, I imagine $20 tops.
Sure.
And he's like, no, I will not be doing that. And it seems like that might fall into the charity that he agreed to that they would still do. But, the logic of this particular decision can't be traced. It's just something to get Cheech Marin and Jake Busey in the picture so that they can come back later.
Yeah.
They go around talking shit to the rest of the neighborhood, who's already talking shit about the cranks. And it's just a bummer. So it gets to the point where they are doing a very stand their ground, like, we're not doing Christmas. So it's Christmas Eve morning. They are leaving tonight. They leave for the Miami airport, where they're gonna get on their dang old cruise, and they're gonna enjoy their week in the sun.
They're gonna have the time of their lives.
I would like to point out that even in the Bahamas, it is winter.
Mm-hmm.
Where it might not be as cold as, say, Chicago in the winter, it will still be cold. They do have that there.
It's gonna be like, the water's gonna be really cold.
Like, you're not gonna spend any time in the water.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize that, like, once water gets below like 70 degrees, you don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
Like, your body, if anything is more than 10 degrees below your body temperature, you're not going to enjoy that.
Yeah, it sucks.
So maybe what happens next is a gift in disguise. Because as they're packing, they get a phone call from their precious baby girl, Blair, who has announced that she is in Miami Airport right now, and is, in fact, has taken a break from the Peace Corps, where she was for a month, and is coming home with her new Peruvian fiance, Enrique.
They met in college, so it wasn't like the impromptu
and then
thing.
they went abroad to do some charity work for about a month, and then Enrique said, "Enough is enough. I'm
tired of shitting in holes and dealing with these
this is
bugs."
all unspoken. It's not mentioned in the movie, but they are leaving. Like, I don't think when you do the Peace Corps, I don't believe they send you home at the holidays.
No.
And even if they did that, I don't think that they would let you. I don't think they would say, "Yeah, come on down for a month, and then we'll send you back," and then you come back, and it's like, that's a lot of airfare for them to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, Blair's engaged to Enrique, and she couldn't shut up to Enrique about how big her family's Christmases are. Like, she's like, "You've never seen an American Christmas. Well, my family fucks that shit way up. They get crazy with it. It's scary almost." And Enrique's like, "I would love to see that shit.
I would love to see a white Christmas."
And so without telling her parents or anything, she assumes that they are, of course, doing their normal thing, and assumes that it's fine that she's coming home. So on I would say less than 12 hours notice, she lets them know that she is on her way up to spend Christmas with them.
How inconsiderate.
What an awful person.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to
Fuck
lay
your
the
plans.
blame on Tim Allen again, but you did a bad job raising this child.
The baby.
Like, first of all, she's clearly bailing on volunteer work. Second of all, she's being super inconsiderate to you guys. And just rude. Just rude, man.
A rude lady.
A real rude lady. But Nora Crank can see no fault in her child, and on a moment's notice decides that their plan to skip Christmas is now defunct. They will not be skipping Christmas. They must make Christmas special for their baby girl, their 38-year-old baby child.
Their big baby.
So yeah, big baby's coming home. Tim Allen is on the other end of the line, and I can tell he just wants to tell her. He just wants to tell his daughter that, like, no. You could come here maybe, but, like, we're leaving. Like, we're not. But they don't. They don't. They miss their one chance. And because they don't tell, they're not honest in one moment, they now must put on a charade. They must plan as though they were never going to skip Christmas. They're rushing around. They must get a tree. They have to get decorated. They have to get her favorite hickory honey ham. And so Tim Allen has to go get a tree from the Boy Scouts who hate him. And they're like, hey, here's what we got. And it's basically, it's like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, but worse. It's like dry and shitty. And they're like, here, you can have this. And he's like, cool. And they're like, also, it's going to be 4 times what it would have cost to get a good one. And it's like, all right. So he buys the shitty tree, and by the time he gets home, it doesn't have any needles on it. So he throws it away. He is now throwing money away. He's doubling his Christmas budget as we speak. And so he convinces his neighbor, who is going away for the evening, to let him borrow his Christmas tree. And then he and Spike, who has been torturing him the whole movie, they're wheeling the tree across the street when my favorite characters, Cheech and Busey, show up, and they're like, hey, you're stealing a Christmas tree. And they arrest him, and they say, you should have bought a calendar.
You should have bought a calendar.
Beautiful use of police force. And then as this is happening, Nora is desperately food shopping. She's got to get that hickory ham. It's a canned ham, and there's only one left, and she has a real wrestle off with a lady who's bigger than her, who bests her and takes the ham. And then as she's checking out, she sees my third and final Saving Silverman of the movie, which is a fun cameo from Andy Daly as the grocery store ham man. And he is checking out in line. He has a ham, and she says, I will buy your ham man. And ham man says, no, we're going to eat this ham. It is our ham. We are the ham man now. And Nora says, I will pay anything for this ham, demonstrating so by breaking out her checkbook. And she says, ham man's wife has a child in her arms, and she says, you know what? I will send your child to college for this ham.
So I don't know how much money.
How much money do these people have? And they're clearly, they don't seem to be sweating it. And why were they crunching the numbers? Why were they so taken aback by the fact that they spent $6,000 on regular Christmas when they're willing to just, toss money away willy-nilly? Crazy. I don't understand these people. I don't care for them. I don't know what they are contributing to society as a whole. Yeah. Anyways, so let's say that Nora pays $40,000 for this ham, conservatively. As she is walking outside, the bag that the ham is in rips right open. That's a heavy ham, and it rolls into the street where it is pancaked by a drunk dump truck driver, and it's just gone. It's flat. It's liquid ham at this point. So all was for naught. Needless to say, the decor at home is not going well. Luther has a tree, but it doesn't look anything like their normal tree. And I think, personally, I thought it looked fine.
Yeah.
Nora is not having it, though. And they are... What do you remember what brings them together with the neighbors?
I think it was the fact...
Oh, because Spike Spike bails Luther out of the police car.
Yes.
Like he tells the police that like, no, we have the keys to the place. We are able.
Yeah.
We are
and they think they all kind of find out that Blair's coming home and they're trying to throw a Christmas party and they all like, all right, let's do it for Blair.
Well, I think Spike is Dan Aykroyd's son.
Yes.
So I think he gets Dan Aykroyd involved at that point and is like, hey, Dad, this is what's up. And Dan Aykroyd is able to rally the entire neighborhood together on Christmas Eve. They're like, guess what, you guys, we're having a party at the Cranks. And so everyone in the neighborhood, I guess they get together and they decorate the house. They bring food over. They make it look like a proper Christmas thing is happening. They do the lights on the outside. They hoist Frosty. Well, Tim tries to hoist Frosty up on the roof, and then
all by him lonesome.
And Frosty no like that. Frosty push him off the roof and breaks. And then leaves Tim Allen hanging by his foot. And I think that's actually where Dan Aykroyd gets involved and is like, all right, guys, let's rally together and let's fix this up. He's like, Blair's coming home, and everyone in this neighborhood loves Blair. And I guess that's true because they do rally together and they do turn it into a party house.
Mm-hmm.
While Nora is alcohol shopping, she runs into an old guy who is just like, I don't know what his deal is.
He's kind of buying. Man.
He's a creep. Like he's talking to her like he knows her very well, and she's like going along with it because she's polite. But you know, I got big serial killer vibes from this guy.
For sure.
And she, for some reason, tells him about the Christmas party that they're having. And then he kind of quietly guilts her into inviting him. And then she admits to herself that she has no idea who this man is. Nevertheless, he does show up for the party. And he brings a hickory ham. What luck. And so officers Cheech and Busey are assigned to not do whatever cop duties they're supposed to do because Dan Aykroyd says, you work for me now, boys. And they say, no, we're police officers. He's like, I will call your police chief.
Right.
And the threat of that is enough for them to be like, well, I guess we do work for him.
Don't call the chief. We haven't cast anybody to play the chief.
We didn't cast the chief. We couldn't get Bill Murray to play the chief. So they are assigned to go pick up Blair and Enrique from the airport. They have never met Blair. They are not the neighborhood police. They know Tim Allen pretty well, but they've never met his daughter Blair. So Tim Allen sends two strangers to pick up his daughter and future son-in-law. That happens, but the house isn't ready. Are you kidding me? It only looks about 90% Christmas in here.
Mm-hmm.
So Spike radios the police as he is able to do, and he says, "You guys, you gotta stall." By now, it seems like surely the movie must be wrapping up, but you're wrong if you think that. You're foolish. There's 20 minutes left. So to stall, the police go on a fake crime call where they're just kind of shining their flashlights on the street looking for a domestic abuse case that doesn't exist. But they do witness a burglary. And so Enrique gets to, they have Blair and Enrique in the back of the police car. And Enrique, on his first visit to America, does get to witness some police brutality as the police just whoop on this burglar and then put him in the back of the car. I don't know where they sit. It's not clear because the next time you see them is just at the park.
Yeah, where does he sit?
Just next to them, I guess. So
that is so weird. That's a good, like, because they kind of just like cut to the party, but would they really put a guy like that next to?
I guess he's handcuffed.
I guess.
So the party's happening. The ruse is working. Blair believes that they were going to have Christmas the whole time. And then the man from the liquor store, we find out Tim Allen also doesn't recognize him, and proceeds to ask everyone at the party who this guy is. His name is Walt, I think, right?
Yeah. No, I think Walt sounds right.
Maybe it's Walt. I'm gonna call him Walt. It's Marty.
Marty.
Okay, his name is Marty. And he introduces himself to Enrique. He doesn't introduce himself to Blair because he seems to already know Blair. But he speaks Spanish fluently, so Enrique wants to talk to him. So he hits it off with Enrique. He's kind of becoming like a hidden gem of the party. He's a real great guy. I don't know. Everyone loves it. He's singing. The cops bust out guitars. He and Enrique are singing. Dan Aykroyd is bringing in his accordion. Oh, what a party this is! But Spike sees the criminal in the car, and the criminal is like, "Hey, I'm freezing here. My kids. I was doing it for them." And Spike's like, I am a kid," and so Spike frees the burglar, because he also has keys to the handcuffs. Spike is dangerous.
He's a dangerous kid. He has access to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Spike can just like take this whole neighborhood down if he wanted to. Anyways, so the burglar goes about burgling. Shocker.
Burgle,
as they say. And Tim Allen, they give there's toasts are happening, and Nora is thanking everyone for all the help pulling together the holidays, and thank you. And Tim Allen is very curt and says, yeah, me too. And so Tim is clearly feeling it, and he's like, I really wish he doesn't care about any of this. He wishes he was on his boat. And so his wife says, you know what? Why you? They have a conversation where the wife is like, you know what? Fuck you, Tim Allen. These people all helped us on Christmas Eve. They gave it up, and the least you could do is say thank you proper. And he's like, I don't even want to. I want to be on my boat. And
it's not too late. It's not too late to go back.
Yeah, he says it's not too late. Like we just let Claire stay in the house, and we let Blair stay in the house, and we go on the planned trip. And she's like, she rephrases, fuck you, Tim Allen. And so Tim Allen is walking in the streets, the snow-filled streets, and he sees that Walt, who is his neighbor in Nemesis, is sitting at home with his wife, who earlier in the movie we found out the cancer has ceased remission and started coming back. And so he's sitting at home with his wife. They're clearly about to have a meal.
A nice, lovely little quiet meal.
Yeah. Like, it was made clear that this is probably her last Christmas. And so Tim Allen bravely goes and interrupts their meal and says, Walt, why aren't you at my party? Walt, what's going on? Why aren't you here at my party? He's like, oh, my wife wasn't feeling too good, and it started snowing. And
we can't walk that far.
Yeah, it's literally directly across the street, but they can't make it. I think it was just an excuse because Walt doesn't like Tim Allen, rightly so, and he wanted to enjoy his last Christmas Eve with his wife. And so Tim Allen is like, all right, Merry Christmas. I hope we can squash our beef someday. And then what is he walks away and then stands in the street again, looks at the party, looks back at Walt and his wife, and then he's like, you know what? And then he goes back and interrupts their meal again. And Walt's like, really, Tim, what do you want, my man? And he's like, look, I want to give this to you. And he gives them the tickets to the cruise that he's not going to take. And he says, look, this is your last Christmas. You guys go and you have a good time. And they make up a lot of excuses because I don't think they want to do this. They're like, yeah, our son said he was going to come by tomorrow. And, we have a cat. And Tim Allen's like, fuck your son. I'll take care of your cat. And
you know what part you missed? You missed the Christmas Carolers part.
Oh yeah, there's a Christmas Carolers bit. It sucks. It's part of the neighborhood protest is that Walt convinces Christmas Carolers to surround the Cranks household and harass them, and that happens
and
twice.
And then Tim Allen freezes his lawn.
Oh yeah. Tim Allen freezes his lawn
and causes a huge lawsuit.
He also freezes a cat.
He kills a cat pretty much. I mean, the cat lives, but in real life, that cat would be dead.
The cat lives. Yeah, you could tell it's alive because its CGI eyes blink, and you can hear it go meow, meow. Anyways, so Walt and his wife take the cruise, and then I guess immediately call Nora, and Nora's like, oh, that's so sweet, that man of mine. And then she forgives Tim Allen for being a huge dickhead. And then she's like, well, maybe we could skip Christmas next year. And Tim Allen raises his eyebrows as if to say, but he doesn't. He doesn't say, And then we zoom out of the neighborhood and we see that one of the Frosties on the roof has come to life and is waving at us. Oh, you know what? I forgot.
You forgot.
I forgot a bit. The burglar is thwarted by Marty, who is revealed to be the man selling Christmas Santa Claus umbrellas at the beginning, and he stops him with an umbrella, and he says, "I told you needed an umbrella," and we all have a big hearty laugh, and then
he's like, all right, I'm gonna head out of here.
Off,
and he
drives off in his VW Beetle, and then as we zoom out of the neighborhood, Frosty the Snowman waves at us, and then a VW Beetle rises from the ground like Back to the Future and flies off as reindeer are pulling it, revealing that Marty was in fact Santa Claus the whole time. And then the movie ends, and we are mercifully allowed to move on.
Yeah.
So I will say it was very weird watching a Christmas movie in the dead of summer.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly hot outside. Like, it's like 106 degrees right now, and I'm watching snowy Chicago, and I'm like, I can't relate.
Cannot.
So once again, my Saving Silvermans were the Cult of Frosty, Officer Cheech and Busey, and Andy Daly as Grocery Store Ham Man.
This movie was it was a lot to get through.
A Christmas with the Cranks.
Truly a Christmas.
But I did get through it, and more power to me.
Yeah. So the second movie we watched was
From My Wheel.
Huh?
The one from my wheel.
The one from your wheel. We spent it last week was Best Friends, starring Tommy Wiseau, Greg Sestero, and those are the big. It was the Room crew.
Two.
It was the Room crew.
It was the Room guys.
Yeah.
I did a little research. Not directed by Tommy Wiseau, but written by Greg Sestero.
This movie, man, I couldn't get through it, man. We got like an hour in.
Our first bail.
It was our first bail. It was really long. It's an hour and 48 minutes, but it felt long. Like the whole Tommy Wiseau quirky little bits and stuff is funny for a little bit, but then to me it just like it lingers.
It doesn't change at any point.
No.
It's like always he is like that. He does not become a better actor at any point.
No, this is the little bio on IMDb for the movie. When a drifter befriends a quirky mortician, an unlikely business partnership is formed. Paranoia soon develops. However, both men are forced to come to terms with the fragility of friendship and loyalty. Directed by Justin McGregor. So
what? You bailed at about a little bit.
I think an hour.
A little bit below the hour mark.
Yeah, the hour mark.
What did it for you? What was the straw that broke this camel's back?
It was just like we like these strange movies like Billy.
Sure, I love a good movie with a weird.
Yeah, like Greasy Strangler, Mandy, those type of flicks, where like the dialogue and scenes is not the norm. It kind of like it goes on like way too long. It's kind of uncomfortable.
The conversation seems off.
Yeah, and this movie like it does that like but really bad. Like Tommy Wiseau really like he's obviously going off script all the time. Greg Sestero's like dumb face is just staring at him half the time.
It feels like I would say it was loose to a point where it felt like there was no structure.
Yeah.
Like the bones weren't even there.
No. It was, and like their relationship was weird. Greg Sestero's character was like a drifter. I mean, like he had like a bloody shirt on like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
He wasn't a drifter. He was in the same place that he grew up. He was just homeless in where he
Well, I mean, in the tagline they call him a drifter.
He's not drifting. Drifters drift.
You're right.
To be a drifter, you have to leave sometimes.
Yeah, he was like an Iraq Jack type.
He's a real Iraq Jack type. Yeah, for sure.
And the whole plot of the movie just seems really like stupid. Like they're taking gold teeth from dead bodies and selling them, and like they're acting like it's this big criminal enterprise when it's. I feel like.
I think it might be.
But like. Who's looking into the selling of gold teeth? All you gotta do is melt it, and you can't even find it anymore. You can't even tell what it was.
Right, but they didn't have the means to melt it. They were just trying to wholesale sell the teeth, which they had.
I mean, he's a mortician. You would think he would have an oven or something, like a human oven to do cremations or something.
Don't know, man.
Strange. I hated it. I hated it all.
I kept watching a little bit after you bailed. And there is a Breaking Bad-esque montage of them selling the teeth to various like characters around the LA area.
Man,
I didn't finish it because the internet went out and I couldn't finish it, but I would have. So you bailed, which means that I now have a skip.
Yes.
In my corner. And I came up with a new thing that I wanted to run by you. If you or I, either of us, gather up 5 skips, could we cash it in for the removal of something from the punishment wheel?
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful because you had to spin the punishment wheel for the first time this week.
Yes.
And I will say it was not kind to you. To me either, because I feel weird that I also had to experience the punishment.
But you had to watch. This
is a real group effort.
Yeah. So I spent the punishment wheel, and I got Caveman TV series.
The sitcom Caveman from 2007, based off of the quirky Geico Caveman commercials. I would love to know. I couldn't find the story of how this came together, but it is basically just the idea that those commercials were so popular that they thought they could truly make a successful television program out of the idea that cavemen still existed.
Yes, and Caveman was an American sitcom that aired on ABC from October 2nd to November 13th, 2007.
My birthday.
The show was created by Joe Lawson and set in San Diego, California, based on the Geico Caveman commercials, which were also written by Lawson. The show was described by the network as a unique buddy comedy that offers a clever twist on stereotypes and turns race relations on its head. That is for sure.
Spooky. We only watched the one episode, but would you say it turned race relations on its head?
No, but it was trying to.
They were playing up the race thing a lot. They were doing it while not having a single black character or character of any color other than white. But it was basically white guys in caveman makeup talking about racial oppression.
Yes.
And oofa doofa.
Yeah. The plot for the first episode. The plot for the first episode is Joel, Andy, and Nick, those are the cavemen, are invited to a private barbecue with which Kate's parents are having. Joel attempts to get Kate's father's blessing for him and Kate to marry. That is a synopsis of the episode.
Fred Savage directed one of these episodes.
Which one?
Don't know.
I'm looking at all the directors. Sure. I don't see him. Oh, hold on. Yeah.
He's at the bottom.
Oh, so I think his episode was not aired.
There were 15 episodes.
There's 13 episodes. 6 were aired.
Whew.
There.
All right. So as punishment, you had to watch this, and I had to watch it too. I don't know why. But as punishment, I think you need to pick out 3 things within this that are saving grace for the pilot of Caveman.
All right, before I do that, I found some more information. All 13 episodes were originally supposed to be released on DVD in 2008. However, plans were put on hold.
I wonder why.
So I think my first saving Silverman is Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll plays Nick the Caveman.
Nick the Caveman. It was a lazy Nick Kroll effort, but it was that's how Nick Kroll rolls when he doesn't want to be there.
It's arguably the same character that he plays in the League, but just in caveman.
Just in caveman makeup, yeah. And the whole race thing is so weird because like on the news they'll be watching the news and there's like another caveman was spotted doing this and they're like, oh, why does it have to be a caveman?
Right. It's pretty clear like that there is they replace like racial stereotypes that are often associated with people of color, and they just like now that's about cavemen.
Yeah.
And it's rough, man.
Very rough.
They have like a caveman version of the N-word too.
Well, what was it? Neanderthals? Natties?
No.
Was it natties?
It was it was gosh, I'm hesitant to even say it in case any cavemen are listening.
Can you spell it?
It's Maggers. As in Crow Mag awful.
Some great writing. Some great Hollywood writing.
Oh man. So the guy who created this is the man behind
the commercials.
He's done commercials, but he's had some bigger hits as well. It's Josh Gordon, right?
Joe Lawson.
Joe Lawson. All right. Well, one of the
writers, man, he wrote a couple
Will
episodes
Speck,
of
who directed The Switch, Office Christmas Party, and Blades of Glory.
Yeah, but he also wrote some episodes for BoJack Horseman and Modern Family. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean these are not unsuccessful people. Like this didn't ruin.
It ruined the main guy, the Bill English. I don't think he ever did anything after this.
You think?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, looks like he's had a tough time.
Yeah, this killed his career. Everybody else, though, I think was all right.
Everyone else seems to be doing okay. Now, Eric, this is an ABC sitcom, so this is Disney property.
This is Disney property.
Would you like to see the more of a large caveman presence in the Disney parks?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Create some caveman zones, some cave zones.
Some caveman walk around characters. You get to take your picture with the caveman.
Nick the caveman.
Nick the caveman from 2007's Caveman.
Oh my gosh.
They should have replaced the Great Movie Ride with the Great Caveman Adventure.
They should have, yeah. My second Saving Silverman, it was shot well. I thought, I like that single camera setup. They chose good locations. It has
the ABC look to it, like the way that
they put a lot of money into it. You can tell they put some cash into it.
It was shot like the same way like Desperate Housewives and Lost was shot.
Yeah,
definitely had a specific style for that network.
It did. There was a scene that involved horseshoes where Nick the caveman
extended horseshoe game.
Yeah, Nick the caveman ran a hustle on these old white guys at the barbecue, and
except he didn't. He failed.
Yeah, he failed to run a hustle.
It seemed like he was running a hustle until the main character walks away for a minute, and then he comes back and is like, "Hey, I messed my hustle up, and now I owe them $300."
Yeah, and there's a lot of licensed music in this first.
There is like 20 needle drops in this.
Yeah.
It's honestly like an episode of The Umbrella Academy. It's insane how many songs they paid for.
Yeah, I can't get down with that.
You can't? You don't like hard needle drops in sitcoms?
Not when it's done excessively. Maybe if they had one, I'd be okay with it. I'd be like, oh, yeah, that was a nice little moment.
Yeah, like maybe one per episode.
One per episode I'm okay with. Or even then, then I'll be like, oh, where's the needle drop this episode?
You're waiting for the drop.
Just waiting for the drop. What needle? What are we going to play this time? And I'd say that that horseshoe game, that horseshoe scene
was a highlight.
That was a highlight for me. Yeah.
What did it for you about the horseshoes?
I'd never seen anybody try to make horseshoes look cool. So.
And in the pilot, no less.
In the pilot, they really went there. They didn't choose anything. They didn't try to choose anything cool. I imagine if they did cornhole.
That wasn't popular yet.
I know, but
if they made this today, it would definitely be cornhole.
Yeah.
Now I'm not being punished here, although it feels like I am because I had to watch this. But I will pick. I will pick a shining moment for me was seeing the brother caveman. They all live together, despite one of them being engaged and not living with his fiance.
Working at IKEA.
They're working at an IKEA stand-in, but the older brother who is like this big, legitimately dumb caveman, they have to go to the party, and it's a cowboy party, so they have to dress like cowboys, and he wears the flyest pink cowboy outfit I've ever seen, and he rocks that shit, man. I say that's a shining light. Wait, good on you, style icon. And that's all the good things I could pick out of this. So with this, I would say Caveman is not off the punishment wheel.
No.
Because there's 16 episodes.
I mean, there's 6 episodes. I don't think we could find anything after episode 6.
Don't know. So they're all on IMDb, which means they do exist somewhere.
All right. I mean, we'll have to get past episode 6, Steven. Honestly,
if we spin this on the wheel more than 6 times, I will have to intervene because I think the wheel is broken.
The wheel is broken.
Point. Yeah. So rough week for us. It's worth noting that the movie that you bailed on, also a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that was a undercover Christmas movie.
Takes place around Christmas.
Yeah.
So
Christmas themed
kind of
week.
Christmas in July situation, although it's not July anymore. It is hot. Yeah. Christmas and hot.
Hot weather.
So wanna spin our wheels for next week?
Yeah. So I think you should spin your wheel first, since I spin my wheel first last week.
Because I made.
Yeah, we're watching your movie first this week. Yeah.
All right. Spinning now. Here we go. Oh no! Oh no!
What is it?
Well, in keeping with this week's theme, we will be watching Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure.
Why? That movie sucks.
Man. Why did we put so many Christmas movies on here?
I think I have one more Christmas movie on here, but
I
don't. No, actually, I don't. I do have one more Christmas movie on here. Yes, I do. One more Christmas movie.
All right. Well, go ahead and spin your wheel. Maybe we'll get your Christmas movie as well.
All right. Yeah, it is spinning. It is slowing down. Movie 43.
No. No. Oh God. Oh no. Oh. You know what? I'm using my skip. I'm using my skip right now. I know that doesn't mean that the movie is taken off the wheel, but it pushes it back. I don't want to watch that this week.
Okay. I'll spin it again.
I've lost every advantage.
Here we go.
Are you going to add a spinning noise to these recordings?
I am. I should. Yeah, I should. It's stopping.
The Wheel of Fortune wheel.
Welcome to Mooseport.
Okay. That's, you know what? That's pretty much Christmas with the Cranks, so I can deal with that. Welcome to Mooseport.
Welcome to Mooseport.
I've seen Welcome to Mooseport. It's been over 10 years since I've seen it.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while. But you got Ray Romano, Gene Hackman, a 1-2 punch you couldn't have thought of in a million years.
The fate of Mooseport is rested on their hands.
So this week, if you're watching along with us, and you don't have to do that. We'll be watching Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure, and Welcome to Mooseport. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. If you could please leave us a review on iTunes and like this podcast, that'd be appreciated. We'll be back next week for Christmas Vacation 2 and Welcome to Mooseport.